talk, which is going to be our colleagues from IBM again, who are going to talk a little bit about the work we did with them last year, looking into signposting parents to appropriate information more effectively on the website. Over to you guys.
Hi, Sanjay. It's Francois here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Francois. Lovely to see you again. Go for
Lovely
it.
to see you again. Long time. Not so long. Thank you very much, everyone, for having us. I just said maybe a few words about IBM and why we're here today. I mean, you heard from my colleague this morning, I think Ben, but maybe just to recap a few facts, and then I'll talk about the projects. And Sanjay, I think is it 5 or 10 minutes that we have?
You've got about 10 minutes and then a couple of minutes of
10.
questions.
Okay. Plenty, that's plenty. I hope I won't speak so long. So yeah, just to say IBM UK, which I represent, my name is Francois Josserand. I'm a business technology leader in a team within IBM I'll introduce later because that has significance for the projects that we worked on. But we're a key partner of the NHS. We deliver in excess of £1 billion of technology and consulting services into the public sector, and the NHS together with the Home Office and Police and with central is basically our top accounts. We run the NHS payroll, the largest in Europe, and we've recently won the work to deliver the NHS app. And we're also the strategic delivery partner for genomics and run the Center of Excellence in Hybrid Cloud, as well as the strategic partner for cyber at the NHS. I won't bore you with any more details about this, but basically this is an example of the wider work we are doing for the NHS, and we were really excited to be working on Healthier Together. So I'm going to share my screen because I've got just one visuals. This is the project that we started, Sanjay, was about a year ago, wasn't it? And oops, somebody switched off the light here. Sorry, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we're about to. I'm sure any second
okay,
now it's going to appear.
Okay. I didn't intend
that's
this.
perfect, Francois.
Okay, excellent. So you will know about Healthier Together because, of course, we've been talking about it the whole day. But so in relation to this website to support parents and carers seeking information about children's symptoms and conditions, we wanted to basically look at what's available there and all the richness of the information. But we're keen to explore avenues to make the information available more easily and quickly accessible. Particularly in a context where parents and carers seeking information in a sort of anxiogenic, situations want to get to the answer to their questions quickly, and sometimes also considering their diverse backgrounds where English may not be their mother language, or just navigating a website may not be something that can be done very quickly, despite all the information being there. And at the same time, making sure that the information that we provide is accurate and trusted. So leveraging the information already carefully curated and available on the Healthier Together website. So I'm going to talk about two things now. I'm going to talk about the outcomes of the project. I'm going to fast forward to the end. And then the next thing, I'm going to talk about how we went about it. And I'll conclude with a few more things about this new team we have within IBM to be doing more projects like this one. So we didn't start with a solution. We started really with the issue that I've just identified, or the opportunity rather than an issue to go further with Healthier Together. But fast forward after some workshopping and cogitations, we decided to use a virtual assistant, one of our flagship technology at IBM. We kind of were pioneers in artificial intelligence, and our virtual assistant or chatbot is considered kind of market leading in many ways. And the idea was basically to offer this additional way to parents to interact with the website when they seek diagnosis of their children's fever, taking them through a self-assessment, but still, as I said earlier, providing medical advice has been vetted, trusted, that is relevant, and yet delivered in a conversational manner. That's the beauty of the assistant. It doesn't just answer and understand your questions, but it also adapts to the sentiment that you're expressing and the language that you're using. So the bottom line is that parents can converse with the assistant in natural language. And by this, I mean just the way I speak now, including with my French accent, because I could be either typing on the device, whether it's my computer or a mobile phone, more often than not, or speaking into it. And the assistant will understand English with a French accent, or French. We use that language not because of me, but because we could have picked up others. It was by way of example, but our assistant speaks many other languages. And the idea for parents is to be able to decide quickly whether they take their children to the emergency services because it's a situation of that nature, or whether it's more a matter of seeing their GP, or simply looking after the child at home if the situation warrants it. So as I said, the assistant understands the parents' questions and can automatically browse itself through the website, extract the information that it needs to compose a response, and then provide it in, informal or formal language. The bottom line is the most important one, which is we tested the assistant with parents. We actually did that towards the end of the project because that was the litmus test to see whether it would actually work. I mean, we had done plenty of testing before, but we wanted to test it with real users. And the overwhelming feedback there was that it was easy to use. The information they were seeking was provided to them more quickly and more easily than the website being already great, but that was even quicker. And key feedback points, they would use the assistant again if it's available. So that's the what, and maybe at the end, feel free to ask me questions on this. But before you do that, I'll just talk a little bit about the how, because that's about how we're now working at IBM, in the new IBM. So this project was actually funded by us. It's part of an investment that IBM is making, working with clients in general and public sector in particular. We partner with obviously Healthier Together and Sanjay, yourself and your team, but also with Frank Design, one of our key partners that provides web management services for NHS organizations. And we work really together, and by working together, I'll explain what I mean in a second. We created what we call a minimum viable product, as in something that did all the outcomes on the left-hand side, but that was sufficiently narrowed in its scope that we could deliver in just a matter of weeks. And how did we do that? In 2 stages. We first took the time not to think about the technology, but think about the actual needs and really understand the situation of parents. And in that context, we created what we call personas, to sort of fictional parents that would really reflect the sort of needs they would have, the sort of anxieties, what they would think, what they would do, and to really clarify these needs and design a solution that was relevant to these needs, that would address these needs, as opposed to starting with the solutions and thinking we know better. And then we built the assistant. So the workshops that I talked about, that was a matter of hours, and building the assistant, we then set the clock and we gave ourselves a few weeks to try and address the challenge. The key thing was that we didn't build on our own, and this is where Sanjay, yourself, thank you very much again for your input, but we saw regular feedback basically at the end of every week, and sometime during the week, in terms of whether we had understood correctly and whether what we had built was starting to meet the needs. So that's the how. I just have one more thing about the how to explain the methodology is basically design thinking. So on the right-hand side, you can see that we always take the time to defining the value, as in what is the issue we're trying to address, what is the opportunity we want to exploit, and we do that in hours. And then once we're clear about what we're going to tackle, and we've defined a scope for doing this kind of minimal test, minimal viable product, we then co-create in a matter of weeks. So this is an investment. You can see on the left-hand side, IBM is actually investing very significant resources in a team. In the UK, we have about 110 team made of consultants like myself, designers, and technology engineers who specialize in data, in artificial intelligence, in robotic automation. We can mobilize at very short notice. And within this team of 110, we have a dedicated squad solely working on the NHS and public sector clients. And so this is what we mobilize for this project. And the reason why I mentioned this is that we're available to you as an organization. If you're interested in innovating with us, feel free to email me at that address there, or find out more information on the website there. And I thought I would speak less than the 10 minutes to have more time for questions, if there are any.
Francois, that was a brilliant summary of the vision of IBM, also the way that you work. And it's a really, I mean, I find exciting, nimble way of working where you bring a group together that innovate in hours, which was a workshop we had in Hursley, wasn't it? And then co-create in weeks, but with regular touch points so that you know, it's fail quickly and move on, etc. And as you said, the proof was in the pudding. We got one of your team in to join me to take the minimal viable product to a number of parents from different socioeconomic backgrounds, ethnicity backgrounds, and university. They absolutely loved the product.